Why don't people want to be estate letting agents when they grow up? Talk to me, Neil.
Oh, come on. That's like asking who wants to be a journalist or a second-hand car salesman.
Go on.
Let's be honest, the reputation of being an estate agent isn't a great one. Now, I'm a bit weird on this, okay?
And do you think people lump estate and letting agents together?
Oh, yeah, they see it as one thing. It's completely different, but the public see it as one thing, right? I'm a weird one on this, and anyone that's seen me speak on stage may have heard me tell this story. But when I was a little kid, this is going back, I was born in the 70s, right? So this is going back to when people typed out...
Late 70s, of course.
Mid. This is going back to when people typed out house details and like glued a photograph on, okay? We used to get those things come through in the post at home because my mum and dad were very often like thinking of moving house. And,
It's what you did in the 70s and 80s. You moved every few years.
yeah, we probably moved about every 7 years, but we'd be looking for at least 4 of those kind of thing, right? So these things would be coming through in the post, and my mum and dad would go, no, like all the ones they want to throw away, I used to like catch them and put them in a box, almost like a photocopier paper box. I'd have all these house details in it. And when my nan would come round to our house, my mum's ironing board would go up, and that would become my shop, and I would make my nan look at buying houses from me because I found the whole thing fascinating. Had somebody gone to me, this is a regulated industry, it's a credible profession, I might have ended up in it. The reality was that's not the perception of the market. And I was just attracted to the whole idea of like people and business and whatever, which is why, having also grown up in that same time frame, what did everyone else do to their houses? Double glazing. And when we had double glazing put in, I made my mum buy me a tape measure and a notepad, and I was measuring everyone's windows and writing them out quotes. So
So hold on. You wanted to do 2 of the 3 dodgiest professions when you were a child?
yeah. And
Are you some kind of...
no, I think it was more just like I was fascinated by these people-orientated businesses.
Yes.
I liked the human interaction that came with that kind of
Because
thing.
it is a people business
It
property,
is,
isn't it?
absolutely. And it's also a really important people business, okay? And I'm going to go deeper on lettings for a minute here.
Go on.
We have an issue in this country, without a doubt, okay, in terms of the amount of housing that's available.
Correct.
There is not enough public, state-owned, housing association-owned housing to actually solve that problem, which is why the private rented sector is so important. Now, if the public actually understood that in the broader sense of the reason a lot of people have a roof over their head is because of this, then maybe it wouldn't be viewed in the way it is. But it's viewed in the way it is because of 1 or 2 rogues that end up being turned into documentaries and stuck on Channel 4 or stuck on the front of the newspaper.
Bad news sells newspapers.
Exactly, right? When's the last time you saw a documentary or news articles about how all these amazing agents are housing all of these people versus, some of the big homelessness charities that house nobody? They lobby to try and make it all fairer, but they don't actually home anyone. The real heroes, in my opinion, in terms of putting roof over people's heads right now, are landlords and agents. Because if there were no landlords, there'd be no stock. And if there were no agents, I think there would... I'm not saying all landlords are rogue. No way am I saying that. But I think you'd have more issues because agents generally, because it's the main thing they do, have a greater sense of understanding of the regulations and responsibilities, and they keep everyone safe and compliant. At the end of the day, if you're a landlord, the main reason, or one of the main reasons to use an agent is for that compliance, safety, security, peace of mind factor.
No
and
hassle.
also that
Don't hassle.
So it's also that hands-off approach, right? It's becoming, the kind of like armchair landlord, isn't it? The armchair investor, really, that says, I don't have to do too much, but I see a return on my investment. But both of those groups of people should recognise the fact that they're heroes in this housing crisis. They really are. And that's another story I don't think it's out there enough. If I was an agent myself, I'd be making videos about the heroes that I serve. All of those landlords that are housing people, I'd be telling their story.
And from that, more people eventually will want to be agents because they'll listen to the story.
Well, and I think some of the stuff that's happening around, it's pretty much inevitable it's going to become a regulated industry. When it does, that will also make it more of a profession that people actually aspire to be in. So I think the face of it will change, but And it amazes me sometimes that actually here you can just go, I'm going to become an agent and become one.
Yeah.
You know, if you go to the US, you've got to go past exams and, you know, all kinds of stuff to become an agent. Here, yes, you can go and do those exams with ALA, for example, but they're optional. There's no requirement to have that in place, which one of the things we talked about in other videos, the things to talk about that you do that other agents maybe don't. Simple things like ALA membership, guild membership, you know, those,
But
those kinds of things.
what ALA membership means to the landlord.
Exactly, yeah. But explaining it and actually pointing it out rather than we put a sticker in the window and we think that's enough.
I know. Thank you, Neil.